never walk this road, then you can talk shit. Gambling with my life, but I refuse to go for nonsense. This the life I chose, this all I know, ain't many options. About to tell the truth, I make the rules like I'm Fleece Johnson.
What's up? This is Big Lee with Hustler Spirit. What's up, Fleece?
Bling, bling.
You doing all right?
Yeah, I'm doing okay.
Man, I wanna start breaking down some of the stuff we talked about before and getting the whole, because we done interviewed so long. Besides this, before we break out the new stuff, I wanna kind of dig a little deeper into the stuff we done already talked about that people that had questions about, they even asked me about it today. Okay, so Airmark provides the food for prisons now. Sometimes I think people forget that you started serving time in the 70s. Airmark wasn't there in the 70s.
Right.
Y'all would grow your own food,
Right.
and y'all would have animals on your farm that y'all would have to kill, feed, kill, whatever y'all had to do to them. Explain to us exactly what happened with the animals for them to take the animals away from y'all.
Well, when I first came into that particular prison, Eddyville prison, in the 70s, they had, Eddyville's a maximum security prison, and it holds the serial killers and all of the worst of the worst, right? Now, about 30 miles from Eddyville, we have what they call a farm center, where they got prisoners there. They is not behind the wall.
It's like a camp or something?
Yeah, like a camp, And on this farm, man, all the food that we ate, all the whole prison system in Kentucky, their food came from this farm center. They had the chickens, they had the cows, the pigs. And when I say head, you talking about 400 to 500 head of cattle, that type of stuff. Big, lot of acres of land they dwell on and feed. They had a little meat packing plant built on the property where they can process, killing the animal there. Go through all the legal ways to do it, the way they do it in a regular place, right? We were doing it there. And the inmates, and they'd bring the food and stuff, meats to the prison, and we'll cook our own stuff. So it was going well, man. And back then, man, the food was just like organic, man. That's when they was talking about how inmates was coming out just looking like monsters, man. Just built real nice and looking good. We was eating good. And so, they got some inmates in one time that, it started off with, they was, abusing the animals. And,
They were abusing them.
yeah, they was brutal. See, I was in a hole. So whenever they lock somebody up, like if you get into a altercation or something at the farm center and you're a resident inmate there, then they didn't have segregation. They didn't have the hole. What the guards will do is handcuff you and bring you inside Eddyville now, and you'll come to our hole. So, and whenever they bring somebody in, the guards already know who's coming in and why, right? And he'll let us know. He said, we'll see him go in an empty cell and check the toilets and the sink, make sure everything operational. Then we'll holler, who's coming, man? And they'll tell us. So what happened at the farm center is, it started out with, they was betting money, big money on who can knock a cow out. It started off with that first, right? And so, based on how you was built and how big your arms was, and so you can bet, man, I can knock him out in 25 hits, man. And somebody say, what you want to put on that? You might put 1,000. They was betting big money on it. So at the end of the day, the next day the guards will come on. You go look at the animals and see this cow with a black eye and lip busted, swollen out, and you looking like that. And so he call all the inmates out. I want to see y'all hands, front and back, front and back. And they looking for any broken skin. You know, they feel like whoever hit this cow and blacked his eye and stuff, swelled his lip up, they probably bruised their hand doing it. But they didn't find none. And so he said, well, that cow was called Daisy. He said, well, Daisy, who hit you? And he let that rope go. And that cow stand out and he had an eye like that, the eye was swollen. And he looked like that, he's like, and he started walking, then he stopped. I said, man, bullshit. And then he went over to this guy and nugged him. And them guards ran over, get on the ground. They slammed him. He said, man, this is bullshit, man. A goddamn cow can't talk, man. They said, you hit the goddamn cow. So they found all of them. But they would let us know that these inmates are coming in, done jumped on the cows and shit over there, right? So I said, that's bullshit. I'm talking to everybody on the wire. I said, man, we eat that damn food, man. We eat that food, right? They over there beating up the cow. Well, no telling what else they doing over there. And so when they bring them inmates in, we be quiet, right? Go put them in the cell, all three of them. It was three of them they brought in. And we sat back and heard them talk and all that stuff. And then, but the next day, when they let us out for recreation, man, we tore them up, man. I'm talking about whooped them like crazy.
Y'all beat them up?
Yeah, man, trying to take them out, man. And then that went on a couple of times, so they had our Department of Corrections is in Frankfort, Kentucky, and they had held meetings and stuff on this. And we said, man, we hope they don't take away the farm center, man. We that's our food, man. That's real food. Ain't no food coming out of Kroger's or Walmart. This is real organic food. Well, year or two passed. Then I'm in a hole. They say we're bringing some in. I said, for what? The guard said the idiot got caught having sex with the cow. And one idiot had sex with a chicken and just tore his whole thing out of him, right? The chicken, where he stuck his thing in, just tore it open. Like he shot a shotgun through them, you know. And the chicken they noticed that because they said the chicken was running around bowlegged, like flopping and doodling on himself and they said, what happened?
Shut up, man.
Yeah. And they said, catch that chicken. It would run and it'll flop, it'll get up and it'll fall again. And then when it bent over, they saw that big old hole in its back. So they didn't know where it came from at first, right? And I heard that somebody snitched on a dude that was doing it, right? It was like 8 of them.
That was having sex with the animal.
Yeah, 8 of them. And they was getting them chickens, and before they process them, you know how you process a chicken, cut their head off, they'll hold them by the neck and cornhole them and stuff, man. And then cut their head off and try to serve them, you know, take them through the process. So I thought that was the nastiest thing I ever heard in my life. And I ain't think nobody that does that should even be allowed to walk this earth, right? For real. And everybody on my walk, I went to every cell telling them about it. And everybody on my walk was in agreement. The people that died, I said, man, they said 8 of them they bringing over here. They done got the cow. You know, they...
So ain't no telling how much meat y'all done ate from that farm.
Yeah, we done eaten meat that people done stuck their thing in and stuff, right? And so, it just, man, I say this is the worst prison, this is the worst place I've been in my life, man. And when they brought them in, they put them on our wall, and they were talking tough, too. And 3 of them was big. They looked like, you know, nobody would want to fight nobody that size and all that stuff. Man, we ain't seeing that, man. And they was talking tough on the wall. And somebody said, hey, man, where y'all come from? And then that big one, he said, don't worry about where I come from. If you want to know where I come from, you'll see me tomorrow on the walk. So I sent the letter down the hall telling everybody to kill all that rap, man. You know, kill all the rap, all that smart, you'll be this and you'll do, I don't care about your size, bro. You over having sex with the animals that we get our food from. You know, we get our food from them animals. And so when they come through the next day, you coming out for rat? You coming out for rat? You writing everybody's number down, left the walk. We ready, man. Man, we ready, man. We got something.
Y'all gonna jump them?
Man, it's the whole walk, man. They gonna let both walks out today. On my walk is 19, on the upstairs is 20. So we got 39 people be on the walk thumping, you know, and it's only 8 of them that they brought in, man. Everybody on my walk, man, I ain't asked for help. But I told everybody, they said, man, we're going to get him, Fleece. I said, I'm getting that big one that ran his mouth. I want him. And I took a solid steel bed leg that I tore off the bed. I said, I'm going to hit him right in his big mouth with this, knock his teeth out. And so when we came out, he was standing like that with his shirt off. And the guard hollered, you got to have your clothes on before you step out of that cell. And he got smart with the guard. And the guard told him, say, back in your cell. I said, no. I said, hey, officer, he's new, man. Give him a break, bro. I ain't want him back in his cell. Man, I'm getting ready to mop you. And you got the biggest mouth. You probably the leader of this stuff, because he got the biggest mouth. So I said, come on out, bro. He said, man, I'm not your brother. Oh, you got smart with me. I had a bed laid back there in the back of my thing with my shirt down, right? I had my hands like this. He said, you ain't see nothing in my hands. I said, all right, no problem, man. The guard shut the door. Everybody getting ready. They wait. I said, man, don't nobody do nothing until y'all see me start the shit. Then y'all can follow in, right? Let me get this dude, right? So when I seen him turn his back, I reached back there and pulled that bed leg out now. It's solid steel, bro. I said, I get this sucker. So I'm walking like that with it behind my back. He's kind of intelligent a little, but not really intelligent. He stopped and looked at me hard, right? Like you see, he was glancing, like he kind of knows something, but don't know it, right? He wondered if he's tripping, and he was tripping. He turned, somebody said something, he turned his head. Man, when he turned his head right back, it was coming. That big solid steel bed leg. Right there in his mouth, split all that right there. He tried to run. Then everybody, all the other ones, everybody was on them, man. We was beating them. The guard was hollering, get in your cell, everybody. They opened all the doors. Ain't no getting in the cell, bro. And about 3 of them ran in the wrong cell. And it was about 5 more men on them, right? Each one of them, but this great big one, I had him, man. He couldn't even, when he hit that floor, he ain't coming off that floor, and he tried to get in a kneeling position where he gonna try to charge. I knocked him out of that, then popped his knees, and I kept hitting his knee. You know, I don't want him to stand up no more. And then them guards start shooting all that stuff, and I gas, and I get yourself. I said, let me beat this man a little more. And so after that, they came in, took all of them off the wall, took them out of the penitentiary. Shipped them. And you know what they did to us?
What?
Nothing. They didn't even give, the write-up, they said y'all ain't get no write-up. They knew we was going to get them.
So how far after that did they
Because the guards eat the same food. If they don't bring food from home, back then they was eating the same. Man, that food was, who would pass it up?
How long you think this was going on?
I don't know, man. I say it had been going on for a couple of years. Well, inmates is being known to do some. All this stuff is going on, and don't you know, right to this day, they got a dog program in that penitentiary. A dog program where you can keep the dog in your cell. See, Eddyville is now single cell. Ain't no double cells. I did that in a lawsuit. Now, coming back to Airmark, see, when I filed that lawsuit, they took them to the Western District. The lawsuit is called Kendrick versus Bland. All you got to do is Google it. Kendrick versus Bland. It'll pop up Kentucky to tell you everything that the suit was filed on and all the disturbance. Well, when it got to the food section, all that was in there. Now, the state lost $200 million in that lawsuit. $250 million. And so they had to pay for renovation, better schools, better medical, better. It covers us. And so they say they're going to do away with the chicken. We don't get to eat chicken no more unless we get out of prison. We don't eat steak.
Oh, they cut chicken off?
Yeah, all that was cut out. Anything pork was cut out. You know, we don't get that unless we on the streets, right? So they hired Airmark. And Airmark is like a $2-3 billion corporation, man, specializing in food. And they feed the Olympics and stuff like that. They real, you know, they got a... But they also start doing business in the penitentiaries because they go into a prison and say, y'all spend this much money, $32 million a year on these inmates, $50 million a year. We can do this job with $6 million. We can serve them in a whole year, we can spend $6 to $8 million and save y'all money and make money at the same time. And they so good at it, man. And they process food, and they got food classes. They got all this stuff. So it happened in the penitentiary and during the 70s, man. And so, you know, like it is out here with every 4 years y'all get a new president. Every so many years, we get a new warden that brings in, he's like a president. He brings in his administration. They change the rules and criticize the last administration for the job that they said they wasn't doing right. And like we got administration in there now that right now today, when I left that prison, all that gay stuff, no. The administration they got now is 100% against it, right? Ain't no walk around in no hot pants, panties. Ain't no shaving your face and arching your eyebrows or putting lipstick, Kool-Aid on your lips for lipstick. And none of that. And if they catch you in a sex act, boy, they gonna take you through it. Here's what they was doing. They was taking all these gangsters that they was catching in sex act. They came out with a rule. If we catch you in having sex with a man, we gonna notify your family on the street, whoever your number is to, and let them know. And they was catching them. And these guys, man, their girlfriends was coming up there to see them. Can you imagine that, getting a call like that? And, hello? This is, Rick Thomas at the Kentucky State Penitentiary. and you thinking something done happened to your boyfriend or your husband. He done got stabbed or something. Say yes. What is it? Well, we want to let you know that your husband was caught in a sex act having sex with another man. And by our policy, we are told to report it to his family. And we're going to send you the write-up report.
It was that bad in there.
Yeah. And they was killing them like it. Inmates was going out. And they was, you know what, the worst, the weakest thing you can do, they go out there and jump on their wife and their girlfriends. Why you jumping on her for, man? You know what you did in her. They sent her the proof. And when she try to get away from you, you're going to go out there and jump on her. I mean, she's coming to see you on a visit, putting money on your books, bringing your kids to see you. All she's asking you to do is lay down, do your time, get out, man, and get your second chance, start over, man. But you getting caught in sex acts with sissies and stuff, right? And then they sent her the report on this day and some of them reports was detailed. I mean, it was a report that she'll read it. Well, we saw like her husband was named Rick Thomas. On this day and time, we saw Rick Thomas. I was walking down the hall and I heard some groaning. And I peeked in a closet cell and there was Rick Thomas bent over. It looked like he was taking a log up in his butt. And I'm writing him up. I notified him and the guy that was fucking him that they would be written up. Now, can you imagine what the wife reading this to the man that been coming, she been going up visiting, taking her rent money and stuff, giving it to him to put some food on his table in prison. Not only was he in a sex act, but he was taking it in the butt. And she been coming on that visit, kissing him in the mouth. No telling where his mouth been. And then when she tell him, I'm done, he gets out of prison and jump on her. For what? Why you jump on her for? I mean, this is what's been going on, man.
Is this when they... This had to be after the big AIDS thing.
Man, yeah, it was before all that. Look.
It was before that?
When we got that, man, you ought to see them sisters was running around, boy, with panties, real panties and skirts and bras. You can walk past a cell, see one in there with a big old juicy butt. Look like he got titties and stuff, right? And they had them bikini panties and stuff on, lipstick, real lipstick, hair made up, nails. Man, we got that administration came in there. They said that stops. It stops.
So what they start doing?
They came in there and took all their little panties, made them, because them sissies walk around with their things folded up to make it look like they got a pussy. They tied their dick up and all that stuff. And they wear like panties and G-string both. The G-string hold the dick, the panties is, put the outline and shit. So, after that, that girl came in there, they took all that with in every cell. So now, the sisters didn't want to come out of their cell because now you can see their print. Oh, they got dinglings and stuff, right? You ain't got no pussy, you got a thing now. And it was a high fan. And they told them certain ones that were sisters that he's not allowed a razor. They wanted him to grow a beard. They wanted him to see that he's a man. All this stuff, right? And them sisters was walking around like wolfmans in there, man. They was mad, man. They was shameful. You look in their cell, they had their whole face covered up like that. They don't want you to see that at her, right? I said, hey, what's up? Oh, that's Fleece. I said, what's wrong with your face? Will you just go away, please? They don't want you to see that. And it was horrifying. But then guys, they was getting caught. the guys that was getting caught, let me take this one.
Your wife just called threw you completely off.
Yeah, but
They made them to grow hair on their face and
yeah, they made them grow hair on their face and stuff, man. And the administration down in Kentucky is totally 100% against any gay stuff happening in the penitentiary. They post all kinds of things. If somebody is pressuring you, you feel somebody's trying to take advantage of you, report it to the staff, and we'll take it from her. And you'll remain anonymous, all this stuff. And so now, it's a lot of sneak around do stuff in her now. Back then, you can do it in the open. You know, everybody had a sissy, or everybody was a sissy, whatever. But, you know, now everybody come out of their cell, and the guys that coming out sagging their pants, them guards made girls out of them.
the guards make girls out of them.
Man, when them young guys was coming in from Louisville, sagging their pants, the guards would come and come out. You got a belt? Yes, sir. Don't worry about it. Go to the property room. He'll do a clothing house. He go to the clothing house. The guard will tell him, I want him in some tight pants. Pants that he got to button up and they ain't gonna say. And them type of pants fit you real tight, show your little butt cheeks and all that, make your print come out better in your cheeks. And when them inmates walk out of there wearing them tight pants, the mother inmate be like, damn, I ain't think he was built like that. Shit.
So them guards did it for that reason, or were they
I
trying
don't know. Now they did it just they sick of that sagging stuff.
Okay, but that caused the effect of...
Yeah, because we used to being able to wear our own clothes, man, in prison. But them gangs and stuff came out, then here's the crip. They wearing blue. Here's the Bloods wearing all red tennis shoes, jogging suits, everything red. Then when they get in a gang fight over color stuff. So the prison said, no, we're going to put you all in pink. You're going to wear a pink t-shirt, underwear, and socks. See what y'all think. So even the prison system is trying to find a way to crack down on that type of stuff, right? And they always now they leave they got programs in there now try to get people out of these gangs and stuff. And that's why I ain't never been in the gang, man, because I'm not gonna take orders from nobody like that. Come on, man, we gonna go ride on dude. I don't even know what dude did. You probably wanna started it. And then you want us to go help you hurt this man, right? I ain't with that. You fight him. That's why I always been by myself, man. But back to the point, we was talking about the food and then the gay thing in the penitentiary, man. I just want to touch up on some stuff that a lot of ladies, man, a lot of them, they wrong too.
Why you say that?
I mean, you got a lot of gay ladies, man. I mean, there's so many of them now. I have never in my life, and not only, and they serious. I came out of the store the other day, and one girl said, she was cute too, boy. I'm talking about cute. And she driving a bad car, man, had money. And she said, hey, man. I said, hey, how you doing, sweetie? She said, I know who you are. Booty man. I said, it'll be me. She said, you fine, too. I said, thank you. She said, I like to fuck you. I said, what? She said, in your ass. I'm like, I ain't know what to say, right? I said, no, it ain't gonna happen. She said, it will happen. I know I can. I bet you done did enough time and you done had something up in your ass. And I like to get up in it. I bet it's good. And she was so fucking serious, man. And she reached in her thing and held up a big old ball of money like that. I said, go on somewhere, man. When I left that scene, the old me would have escalated. The old me would have probably reached through there and grabbed about her and just pulled her up out of that car, right? But nowadays, these people out here would force you to kill them. See, if I had came back on her like, fuck you, bitch, you know, and she would have came back with something, and chances is, them type of girls, yeah, they do carry pistols, right? And I ain't have none, so it would have been a thing where it would have been an altercation, some nigga would have jumped in it, something like that. But I handled it right, man. I said, no, it ain't gonna happen, no ma'am. She said, can I see it? I said, can you see what? She said, your butt, man. I like to get up in that. I left. But and I went home and told my wife about it. And she thought it was funny, but I didn't. I can see a woman asking me, telling me, hey, man, you're a fine-looking man, man. I like to go to bed with you. You know, it's a woman-man thing. But to fuck me in my ass, man? Come on, man. I ain't never had a woman come to me like that, man.
You talked about one time where you tried to escape, where you put the dress on and all that stuff.
Yeah.
What made you mentally say, I need to get out of here? What was going on at that time?
The prison, man. That prison was so disgusting. I already told you they was having sex with the animals. I'm locked up. Imagine being like, that prison is not like Isla Grange prison that holds 2,500. The prison, the maximum security I was in can hold the maximum was around 8 to 10, 1,000 people, right?
What, 800 to 1,000?
Yeah, anything over 800 really be like too much, right? And so, but the people that was in that prison, man, you got people in there that did what was in there for one guy, man, that he wouldn't talk to nobody but me. His crime was he had sex with dead bodies. That's the only thing he gets locked up for. He'll wait till somebody died and he'll go pop their stuff open and have sex with them. And so that's his only charge in his life. He don't never have no traffic ticket or none of that stuff. He just like dead bodies. And then you got guys that kill their wife over a duck. Then you got guys in there that kill their whole family. You know, neighborhoods. You got serial killers in there. Then you got the most extreme gay people that you would ever encounter. I'm talking about these gay people here would do anything. The golden showers, shit on my chest, all that shit. You locked up around 800 to 1,000 people, that is crazy. That every day I come out it was like a horror house to me at first, right? Every time I come out, I see something that would stir the light, like Paul Cruz. I supposed to get a visit that day and didn't nobody come. So I'm mad, I'm ready to fight, you know, and he sat next to me and had a bird. I told him I don't feel like playing. He looked at the bird and said, he don't feel like playing. Bit that bird head on, spit it. I got him started running, man. He chased me all over the prison with a headless bird. But this was the craziest people that I was around. David Cruz, his brother. He comes down to the weight pal. Everybody down on weight. Come on, man, you can get it, man. Come on. I got it, baby. I got it. Boom. Bounce it off your chest. Boom. You know, bouncing it off. He come down there, take a shoestring, tie it around his dick, and tied around a 2.5 pound weight. Put his hand on his hip, make his thing get hard, and he's lifting weights with his dick, right? Everybody started, come on, David Cruz, man, it's nasty, bro. He said, hey, man, white boys is hung too. Them type of people was in that prison. We had people in that prison that was killers, just bloodthirsters, just people that hate black people. Then we had all the gay stuff that back then you can have a gay lover. You can have them in your cell. You can get married. And you can set them in your lap while they got tools and stuff coming through there, kissing and stuff. They don't allow that no more. But I was in that type of prison so I said, you know what? The only way I'm going to make it in here is I'm going to have to clock the fuck out. I'm going to have to go all the way out. I'm going to have to be more crazy than anybody in here to keep them away from me. They don't believe in that play because they'll make you show you crazy. Ain't no play shit. A lot of people coming up and play crazy, man. And you better be able to back it up. Right?
What did you do to show them you was as crazy?
Anything like when I got along with the white guys, the ones that didn't like black. The guards was locking 2 of them up, had handcuffs on them. A guard was. He had nasty guard. He said, I said, shut your mouth, boy. You going to the hole. And he was dirty, man. He had drugs and shit on him. And he said, I said, lift your feet up. No, you going to take your shoes off there and shit down there. And I said, damn. Damn what? I got this. I said, let that man go, ho. Go and turn around. You get, I said, bow, stole him. Knocked the guard down, picked the keys of somebody, and we out there fighting. They took the keys off of him. He got rid of his shit. But all them white boys, that shit spread all through the prison. And get this letter over to Fleece Johnson in the hole, man. Hey, you tell that black crazy son of a bitch, man, hey, he's one of us, man. And so...
So you was doing that stuff on purpose to get in?
Yeah, a lot of the stuff. I want to show people that, yeah, man, take your prison, man. We got to live here, but we don't have to go through these rules and regulations that they got, right? They ain't gonna let us live our life. We know we did wrong. We know we hurt, and the ones that want to get their life together, let us do it. But you got guards that come in there and want to treat us like dogs and stuff, won't let us have fun or nothing like that. So I popped him. And so they got me in, and then when I started getting weed and liquor and stuff in myself.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to ask you about. Somebody asked me to ask you that. What was the process of you actually getting the guards to bring you whiskey and weed? What was you saying to them? What did you do?
Okay. I'm going to tell you. They tell all the guards, see, when you go into prison, that's just like how I was able to manipulate the parole board. I read what they was taught, right? What is a parole board member? What are they educated in? So I go get the books and read the books myself so I know what they man, how they think, right? What they expect. Like, they teach you, they know body language. When you sit up in front of the parole board, you talking about, you need to convince them that you ready to go home. They study your body language, your eye movement to the left, to the bottom as he's laying. You tell the truth when you make a guess and touch your chest. That's a sign of honesty, right? And I was people used to pay me, hey man, I'm gonna go home, Fleece, and say you can get us out of here. I said, man, I got to take you to a 2-week training. And I teach I teach them, they go up there and actually make it. And the ones that don't want to go back, they go up there and get set back. So I knew that, right? And so now the process I went by is I'm fighting a war, man. You learn as much as you can about the people you fighting, what they fears are, right? That's the first thing in any war. It should be I'm getting ready to fight this motherfucker. What is his main fear? What is their fear? Well, the guards are, their main fear is to lose their job. That's the main thing. A lot of guards, when they work in prison, ain't no other job around they can work. That's their only spot. And they come here and they ready to do whatever. They carry a walkie-talkie and they tell them in training, a walkie-talkie and your ink pen is your most valuable weapon in here. Inmates are afraid of an ink pen. Because you can take an ink pen and you can say, give me your name and number. I'm going to write you up. That write-up can stop you from going home. It can stop you from being sent to a camp. You know, and all this stuff.
Plus, they got to keep track of it because it's a weapon. It can be used as a weapon.
Yeah. Now, we got ink pens in our, it's just what it can use for to write people up. Now, your walkie-talkie is a security. If you lose it, it's a security breach because anybody can get on the walkie-talkie and go, open G gate, and then motherfucker run out and they gone. You can control all the doors and stuff in there with a walkie-talkie. So they telling guards, if you lose it, you gone. That's a breach of security. So I knew all that. So this lady, she bring me up. And she said, hey, Fleece, be my Walkman? I said, yes, ma'am. She said, do a good job for me. I got something for you, some food. I said, oh.
You plotting the whole time.
Yeah, I don't fuck your food, man. I got something else I want, you know. So she leave her walkie-talkie sitting on her desk. So I took it to an inmate, gave him the instruction on what to do. You see him locking me up? Destroy this motherfucker. She's gone. They can only, I'm going to deny that I took it. And they can only hold me on the investigation for 90 days and you know, without, you know, proof. And then they can extend that another 90 days, but 6 months is all they can hold me in the hole. I'm used to doing 12 years and shit in the hole, so what's a motherfucking...
6 months.
Yeah, it ain't shit, 90 days, right? So I stole it, so she tell me, hey, Fleece. I said, yeah. She said, have you seen my walkie-talkie? I said, yeah, matter of fact, I got it. She said, you got it? I said, yeah, I got it. And you can call IA, tell him I got it, lock him up. I'm going to deny that I told you that. They going to put me in a hole, 90 days. I said, what's that to me? 6 months, even a year. But they going to fire you. She said, you go in front of your cell. Like she gonna call in on me. And then she thought about that shit, man. She knew I was right? So she said, come here, come to my office. I went to her office. I said, yeah. She said, I thought I did you good. What I do to you? I said, it ain't what you did to me, it's what you ain't did for me. And she said, what's that? I said, get this dick. And she said, you know what, and I'm not going to get your... 15 minutes later, she was on it. So I'm like, okay. So case is solved, right? So then I sold her to this dude, man. But she had to bring me some shit. And so we always get backup, man, because they let us have a camera in her. We had a camera in her. Like if you was over the JC club room, and they had a portable camera where they let you go around, take pictures. They make money in the club room to more pictures they take and for the club room. You know, you can buy your donuts and your coffee and all this shit and sponsor certain events coming up. But we was taking them pictures. We was taking pictures of stuff happening in the penitentiary. Sissies that was having sex with certain guys, we want to take pictures, catch them in the act. You know, we had people, man, we was in staff members. And just like with her, man, we got her on camera. So once you get them like that, man, they gonna do what you tell them, you know. And so what's your name that worked in the gym, Beck. That's his name, Beck. And I shouldn't even call people's name out, but he was a gym, man, he brought me so much whiskey. He didn't got no weed, but he brought whiskey.
What did you have on him for him to bring you whiskey?
Same thing. And not only that, but I caught him getting his thing sucked by this white sissy. Now he's a guard at work, got a white sissy sucking his cock. And so, and then he turned around and got married about 2 years later. And then he stopped being a gym director and started being in the administration building where he's up there where the warden and all them is at. And now he's coming out on the yard. Like when they have a big rad out, breakout, he's running out there with them. I said, look at Beck out there, man. I see Beck. And so when I see him, I say, hey, Beck. He said, you doing, Johnson? I said, how you doing? I said, you know, I need you. He said, I don't do that stuff no more. I said, all right. I said, but you ain't just talking to somebody that you can tell it to, because you know I got pictures of you, brother. I said, I got copies of them too, right? So I showed him a picture. He said, what you need? Same thing. They dirty, man. You find corruption everywhere you go. So,
you know what you remind me of saying that?
What's that?
You know, Cat Williams said that he got a lot of information on people in the industry. Yeah. That he used to pay people for just to have the information.
Yeah.
It sounds like that's what you did. You used to make sure you had something on.
Something. Well, some of them I couldn't keep nothing, you know, valuable proof. And there was a lot of them that, just like with the duty thing, man, when I was in the hole, like, they know I'm going to, man, I would cover you from head to toe with duty, man, if you don't bring it in with me. And they always did it because they look at it like this. We up on a policy that tells us that this man can throw a 3-gallon bucket of duty on me with glass and all that stuff in it, where the smell will stay on me for a week no matter what type of wash I go through. And y'all tell me I can't put my hands on him? And they had a problem with that.
You was worth too much money to the prison system.
No, it's just that rules and regulations coming from the court, right? You can't take the law in your own hand. They going by that. We had rights in ours. So I said, well, this one little particular thing, I'm going to use that against them. You know, if I go ahead, if they had said open his door and they'd have held me down and popped me real hard, real good, man. Nigga, I would have never threw no more duty, man.
That's not true, because they did come in there on you.
Yeah, they couldn't win, though. But on the real side, that's what happened, man. And so I was able to get control like that. It made my time a lot more exciting to serve, to wake up on, to go to bed on, and you know the next day somebody's bringing you, man, almost a pound of weed almost. And so they bring it in by ounces, man. And then you got all these clients lined up, like all the white boys, all the racist people, the gang. Then you got
so whoever got the drugs is the man.
Yeah.
Racism and all that stuff's out the gang.
Anybody, I can put a hit on anybody in that penitentiary, bro. I got drugs, man. I got a squad. I got people I can go to and who I take care of that today, right now, and they'll do it. You got people, man, that will So it's power. But I never liked that because I never liked nobody that paid other people to do things like that. Fight your own battle, man. You know, I always been like that. I was that's a coward, man. You know.
So you ain't never paid nobody to do nothing?
No, I'd rather do it. I done did stuff like if I had friends on another walk and somebody, they done moved this dude off my walk, I said, get him, bro. And when they come open the door, you can hear them fighting over it. He got
That's the same thing.
Well, now we do favors like that for each other. They can call me at any time. I didn't hear that many times since when I did that 12 years. People off the yard that left the yard owing people a lot of money and stuff and ran over in the hole. Didn't want to go to PC because they didn't get gat up, but thought they couldn't get gat in the hole. So the letters come to me, Fleece. Do this for me, man. I got you, bro. And I do it.
What would you do?
Make him have a bad day. Just put it like that. You're gonna have a bad day. You're gonna regret what you did. So
and they're not even gonna know it's coming.
Penitentiary, after a while, when you get recognized and you get your name get up there, man, where nobody want to try you or fight you. From then on, it ain't nothing but respect, man. You know, people that are respect, everything is based on respect. People look at you like that. They see you sitting down. Instead of in the time when they just walk up and get in your conversation while you talking, you'll see them standing over waiting till you all the way done. Hey, Big Lee, can I speak to you?
And they don't stood there for 10, 15 minutes.
Yeah, and you say, come on, man. Like that. What's up? What's on your mind? And whatever it is, right? But it's respect. You get respect, right? Ain't nobody gonna try to reach through your cell and steal nothing. You know, sometimes I take my whole grocery bag and have it sitting right out there, 2 bags. He said, I don't need nobody watching nothing on my ass, bro. Ain't nobody, they know who bag this is, bro. I go down in the gym, mess around up there, hour or 2, come back, my bag is there, bro, nothing missing. Yeah. And you got people in there like that too, that get the same respect, a lot of them, right? But you got a lot of people that can't get to leave it, set their bag down, turn around, hey man, who got my bag, man? They'll pass it off, you know, but people that is known to thump and got little names and reputation, ain't nobody gonna bother them, man. So there's a big change, man. Prison right now is right now is one of the worst places to go now. Because right now Trump is doing things that is really empowering them officials now. You know, all the stuff ICE got away with, now they're going to start doing that in prison, right? Because they know they can get away with it now, right? And they're going to be tougher and worse, right? And the food, and nowadays, it used to be when you have a problem in prison, prisoners can write to courts and get redress, man, and for the whatever the rights was violated. But now, with so much corruption out there in the courts and all over the country, man, coming from the White House all the way down, man, from Congress, everybody's corrupt. It's going to be hard to get a complaint processed like they used to process them, you know, with give you the benefit of the doubt.
What happened when they would throw your stuff away? Like you write up something and you was trying to mail it out to...
Yeah, no, they do it like this. I had one time, I'm filing so many lawsuits, I'm hurting them. I had a strategy on my lawsuits, man. I said, well, first of all, I'm going to cost them money. Every time you turn around, I'm going to have them in court, right? on legitimate stuff, right? I done searched the law. I know I got them. They know I got them. And I had big stacks of paper like that, files in my cell, right? You see me sitting down when I ain't doing that, I'm playing chess, I'm filing a lawsuit. Well, here they come. Shake down. Get up. They shaking the walk down. They handcuff you behind the back, bring you out of your cell. 3 guards will go in your cell and take the sheets off your bed and see if you got weapons or anything. They went over to my legal stuff. And somebody earlier done flooded that wall. It's still water on the floor and stuff. They just threw all my stuff out there in the hall. I said, you can't do that, man. That's against the law. Oh, Johnson, this is trash. You got too much paperwork in this cell. If I got too much paperwork in there, then take it and put it in the property room. You know, that's my legal stuff. We was told to throw it away, Johnson. And they did. So, I say they forcing me to do something, man. They gonna force me, these white people gonna make me fight them like an animal. They gonna make me fight them for real. And when I realized that going through they can stop your access to the court. They can, if you have a reputation of fighting them, then they can always use that to justify whatever illegal actions they take against you.
Is that because you didn't have no support out here, though?
Didn't have no support out here.
So if you ain't got no support out here, they can pretty much control how you communicate with the courts and all this stuff.
They'll come there, do you. And so I said, forget it. I said, I can fight on all levels. I was fighting you legal, but now y'all want some physical stuff. And I went there. But you know what? My wife, man. But I'm glad to be out. And every now and then, man, I have to sit back.
Fleece got a lot going on. We're going to let him get out of here today.
Yeah.
Like and subscribe. We got some new stuff coming, some new content coming.
Yeah.
So you're going to enjoy that. Y'all have a good evening. Peace.
Peace.